16 Days of Activism Against Gender-Based Violence is a global campaign. It was started by the United Nations, and it really is to highlight how much women have achieved, but also at the same time to highlight how much more there is for women to do. So it started, historically, right from the suffragette movement, where women were not even given the right to vote, and then the women's movement came together to fight for those rights. And now that is why we also use this day to acknowledge those who have come before us and what they have fought for, so that we as women are able now to vote, to get into education, to be in politics, to be in governance, and to have an equal footing in society. But at the same time, we also see that in our society there are many issues relating to crimes against women, to various violence that women and the girl child face. So there is a lot more that we as women have to do and have to come together and stand for. So the 16 Days of Activism really is to highlight, what each society is facing, the challenges, the issues that are being brought up, not at just the urban area, but also at the rural area. And therefore, we use these 16 days really to bring forth these issues and also to push forward for policy interventions in these areas.
So, what are some events that have been curated that is relevant to Meghalaya's context?
So a lot of to Meghalaya's context over the years, because we have seen that there are many issues of domestic violence, okay, that is one of the highest crime rates that we have had. You've seen that from the NHFS first study that came out in 2005. So we have many awareness programs on domestic violence, on sexual harassment of women at workplace. But apart from these crimes also, just the basic rights and entitlements that women are supposed to receive from their community, from their government, most women do not know of those rights. And therefore, that is why as we commission, as various women organizations, we curate programs, we curate awareness sessions, capacity building on not only the laws but also on the rights and entitlements that each and every woman should receive from their community.
In this digitally paced world, I can see that MSCW is now very active on Instagram. Now, how are you using Instagram? Because Instagram, social media is also one of the mediums where a lot of sexual harassment or in terms of how women are demeaned. So, how are you using social media to counter that?
Mainly we use social media so that our reach will be much further, will be much broad. But also at the same time, when it comes to, like you were saying, social media, Instagram, Facebook, whatever it may be now with AI, I think the push and the drive must be how we can use these tools for betterment, and also how do we stay away from the evils of social media.
Chairperson of Women's Commission, one question. Don't you think that more awareness should be among the men than the women here?
That's exactly it. There's a campaign called White Ribbon, Men for Men. It starts with men and it should end with men. So, as my fellow members of the commission have said, there's enough talk about a lot of things, but the focus that we have at this moment is on violence, and we have to examine the root cause of violence, because it's everywhere, and it's like we've reached almost saturation points. And the violence is not only just against women, it's also against men and young children, male and female. So what I believe is that it is time, and this is a message that we should not normalize violence of any sort, whether it's against males or females, whether it's against children, even against nature. But we should rise up. So my call, appeal is for everybody to rise up whenever there's an instance of violence anywhere, that we should not be quiet. We should raise our voices as those women in past times, and men also. There are many good men who remain silent, and so they cannot empower, they do not give that energy and power to help the woman. So we're calling for all the good men and the men who made wrong choices in their lives to take a stand, to rise up against themselves, and say no to violence, say no to everything that is ugly. start from ourselves. So, and to also intervene wherever we see these acts, or even the language that we use also. I've always said something always about this, that the obscenity that is in the language, the vulgar language that is used, and the violence in the language against women, against everybody, we should start to introspect more. So it's a call for everybody to not just say stop the violence. I mean, not to make, we don't have to make a campaign. If we, all we need to do is to introspect and to examine whether the violence is within. It can be external, it can be internal. So the external, yes, we can do awareness programs. We have a lot of things, a lot of activities and strategies to do that. But internally, it's time for humanity to ask questions, and perhaps then we'll get some solutions.
How do you end the culture of silence among the women who suffer here? There is always a culture of no, we don't want to speak. Go matrilineally, you are empowered.
Especially in the rural areas.
See, as we said, one of the things that empower us is knowledge. The understanding that we have rights of our own, that there are people that we can go to for help. Many people feel that they are in such a sacred space with family that many people do not want to go out of that. So we need to tell our young, to tell people in the rural areas as well as in the urban areas, to tell them that there is a window of help. They can talk to other people, and they should know that when is the time to stand up. When they know their rights. Actually, a lot of people get scared of that word right and empowerment, but it's an enabling. I prefer to use that word, enabling, rather than empowerment. So we have to reclaim some territories that are there, and then also in our cultures. We have to re-examine culture. We need to.
So, don't you think that let us suffer and be alone? Is that the way women looking at when the cases of single mothers are on the rise?
Yeah. Women keeping silence.
Silence.
I would say that silence seems to be the position where men and women take. A lot of men also do not speak out. They have not been socialized right from when they're kids. They do not cry. They cannot express themselves. So the silence is both for men and women, I believe. And if men start to speak up, they become more vulnerable, I would say, or show that they have that empathy for women. I believe that women also will be enabled to kind of express themselves more.
So coming to crime against women, which category tops as far as crimes against women concerned?
You've seen, I think the news, you're more aware and feel, what is happening. And of course, violence can be verbal, it can be physical, it can be in the language, it can be sexual. We see that on the rise, so unless we have proper data.
So how is your data now? How many cases are pending? How much conviction?
There's always tendency everywhere. There's tendency because it's so overwhelming. In fact, the system is such that we have to address the system and look at the root cause. And this is also it's a kind it doesn't depend only on the court or the people, but it depends on the whole system. So we have to re-examine the thing from that system.
So you feel that this type of campaigns will help to reduce the stigma and.
See, the point is this. There's a whole wide world, whole ocean. If we do not take out our fishing rods and our trawlers, whatever means in whatever way we can reach the public, our voice is not amplified by various means. We have to start somewhere. It has to reach somewhere. So that's all that matters to us.
What is the next initiative?
That we will further discuss. I'm sure we will update you through Instagram.
No, this is 16 days, so we are asking the program.
We've been talking to, through talks, through conversations, and a lot of forums. We have been discussing on this issue. And perhaps next year we will have a better, a package which will reach not only the urban areas but also.
So this year we are ending the program with today's event.
Next year we hope to go to other districts.